Going on, you guys? It's Life Aspects with Visionary Rose. Grace and love to everyone. If you watched my video on yesterday, I was talking about power starting in alignment, and basically all around what I was basically trying to say was that just basically acknowledge God in everything that you do, acknowledging God and trusting God for the plans that He has set out for your life. And also, when you're praying, you're being specific about your prayers and what you want Him to do in your life, because although we want the material things and although we want our goals and our aspirations and things that we want to accomplish into our life, there are some things on this earth that we have to, fulfill as well too within God before He comes back as well too. And if you know that you have a calling in your life where you felt like God have called you to do something great, or to spread the word of these gifts and talents that you have, or if you find yourself finding something new like drawing and painting and stuff like that, those are the gifts and talents that God has gave you. So you should use those wisely and use them for your greater good. And also, you just never know how, like, something small of the gift that God gave you or the talent that God gave you, how it can really, it can prosper, and you can help somebody else out as well too. And also, within the power starting and the alignment, letting Him be in control of like your will, and letting Him be in control of the wheel. When you're driving the car, He's over you and to be in control of the wheel. And also, He gives us common sense to know not to do certain things that we know that are wrong, such as like when you're driving the car, that to go slow over those speed bumps, because that it will mess up your alignment on your car and it'll knock it off track, and then you'll need a new alignment. Today I want to talk about letting the battle be under you instead of over you. Letting the battle be under you instead of over you. So I want to tie it into yesterday's topic as well too, because a lot of the battles that you have and that you're dealing with, we should not let that let that get the best of us, or let that affect us, and let that affect us mentally, and also let that affect us spiritually, because there's some things on this earth, like I said before, that there's some things that we have to do before God comes back, and we shouldn't waste our time murmuring and complaining about what didn't work out, or what happened last week, or what happened last year, or what didn't happen. We should focus on what needs to take place as well now, because God doesn't want us to sit around to be upset about things, because mind you, He's already seen it. He already know. And especially before He came, especially before you came on this earth, He already knew everything that was going to take place. Like, He already knew everything that was going to take place. He knew the people that was going to leave you. He knew the people that He was going to bring in. And that's why sometimes you really have to let God just step in the way, because when you just let it go, He will begin to bring in more people. But if you haven't let it go, He can't bring in new people. It's like trying to mix oil and water together, and that don't mix together. So that's why you just have to kind of let God be in the will. Let God be your center attention, also while you're trying to seek your goals and all of that stuff. Don't forget about Him in the midst of that. And yes, you want to have your fun and stuff like that, but just don't forget about God. And also letting those battles be under you instead of over you. Hand those battles over to Him, because it's not our battle, it's His. And we can't. And although we want to fight those battles, and we want to try to figure out, we want to move past it. We tell ourselves all the time we want to move past it, but you're not really moving past it if you keep thinking about it or whatever and stuff like that. And yes, it may hurt, and yes, it may take time, but don't dwell in that hurt too long, because it'll definitely eat you up. Like, for me, when I was hurt over certain things that has happened into my life, and I was beginning to beginning to just kind of dwell on it, and mentally dwell on it and stuff like that, and not really getting over it, and emotionally dwelling on it, it wasn't good for my health, and it'll begin to really affect you differently. You'll begin to see certain changes in yourself. You begin to see certain changes in your body. You don't know how stress can do so much stuff to you. And so that's why keeping your stress levels down, because we shouldn't stress about things that we can't even control. Stressing about things that we can't control is stressing about things that we cannot, that we don't even control, and some of the things that we cannot change. There are some things that we can't control, and there are some things that we can't change, such as you can't make someone change if they're not willing to want to change. That's why they say accountability. Everybody has to take actions for everything that they do. And even if they don't want to take actions, you still have to take actions for what you have did, because you never know if you have hurt a person, or something that you said, or something that you did. And that's why we have to be careful with our facial expressions and things that we do, because sometimes you never know, you could be making a face and it could really just be just be like your resting face, like you just chilling. And sometimes people may oh, she got an attitude, or she look mean and stuff like that, but whole time you just chilling. But that's not saying to change who you are for anybody else, but just kind of making sure that, like, okay, because I don't want to look as like a mean person, or I don't want to look like I'm like somebody can't approach me or anything like that. But letting those battles, because that can be a battle as well too, to where you struggle with not making it easy for people to communicate with you, not making it easy for people to, just say hi to you, or just even give you like a simple smile. And all of these stuff that you're dealing with now, like financial issues and so much stuff that's going on around the world today, like those are not our battles. But how can we as people, help make the world a better place? Although there are mass shootings going on, they're missing people and stuff like that, but they want to focus on the speeding and stuff like that, but they don't want to go find the missing people. They don't want to figure out how the Texas shooter got in there, but they want to focus on all the wrong things. But that's why we as people, we have to come together and stick together. And we have to make a change. And first of all, within the change, like I said before, the change has to start with you. So once you start with the change in yourself, then it will maneuver on to making greater things as well too. And while you're working on yourself, you can definitely help somebody else as well too. Because sometimes with you helping somebody else, you never know how you could be helping yourself as well too. Because you be like, dang, I didn't even know, like, maybe I need to take that, or maybe I need to do that. Like, maybe I need to, do what I was telling her to do, or do what I was telling him to do and stuff like that. Because, sometimes we have to take our own advice instead of, having to like point fingers. We have to like look at ourselves in the mirror and see what's going on. I hope you guys took something from this video. I love you guys. And remember, the power starting in the alignment, and don't let the battle be over you, but instead let it be under you, and let God be in control. I love you guys, and thank y'all for rocking with Life Aspects with Visionary Rose.